Well, what's going on, YouTube? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. It's nice to have you here. On the table in front of us today is the Microtech Socom Elite. This is one of those knives that for as long as I have been a knife collector and as long as I have been a reviewer, I have been told, you got to get a Socom. You got to get a Socom. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Yeah. I don't. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with this knife except, of course, its tip-down carry, which I do not enjoy. But every once in a while, you get a knife that has an almost mythological following, and I don't understand why. Like, I got my Microtech Stitch. That makes perfect sense. That knife is amazing. This is... I just don't, I just don't love it. I know I'm going to get a ton of heat. I can hear the Microtech fans out there. You don't get it. Well, that's fair. I don't have to. Let's be clear. There is nothing wrong with this knife at all. It's exceptionally well made. It's a Microtech. They do a great job. This one is M390. This one was in fact made in 2019. The aluminum scales are in excellent condition. It's fairly lightweight in hand, considering what an enormously thick chunk of of M390 you get. This is the manual version, so it's a liner lock. The thumb studs deploy perfectly. It's got a little glass breaker on the bottom, which I would never use. It is very grippy, right? It is very comfortable. I just don't. Well, it just isn't the knife for me. And you know what? That's okay. It doesn't have to be. Not all knives are for all people. I respect that. Let's take a look at what you get for your money. Speaking of which, let me see. Yeah, these things were about $320 when they were new. That's a lot of money for a knife. But hey, that's enough about what I don't like. Let's talk about what I do like. The blade shape on this thing is absolutely gorgeous. It is a freaking pry bar that you can, don't pry with your knives, but you get what I'm saying. It is an enormously thick chunk of M390. It is really, really locked into the scales. You don't feel any movement. It doesn't feel as though it's going to go anywhere or get away from you. It's very slicey for how thick it is up here. They did a good job on the edge. This thing cuts like crazy. The ergonomics on the handle are, well, those are right up my alley because it's very neutral, right? So it's very comfortable no matter how you choose to hold it. If you're going to give somebody a poke or do some long cutting or get in a sword fight with it, I don't know, whatever. All of that is excellent. I really hate tip-down carry. Now, the new Socom, whatever it is, it's made by Reich, is tip-up carry. I might try one of those to see if it changes my perception. I don't really think that's enough to kill the knife for me. I don't know. Maybe it's just it had such a almost legend behind it that I was expecting something more. I guess I felt kind of the same way about the Norseman. It's not going to make you breakfast. It's not going to drive you to work. In the end, it's just a knife. And if it's not exactly your knife, it's probably not the best for you. But let's take a look at what you get for your $320 and plus dollars. You get 3 3/4 inches of cutting of M390 on 4 full inches of blade. It is a nicely sized knife. I do like the size. The grip area from behind that swell just a little bit, 1, 2, 3, 4.5 inches, so plenty of room to move around. The knife overall is 9 1/4 inches long. This is a full-size cutter. On the table, it's nearly this big right now. And no, well, yeah, I think the closest thing I've got on the table is the full-size Kaiser cane. Yeah, that's a big knife. Let's do some size comparisons for other things. Here it is against a Strider the SNG, just for fun. As you can see, it's bigger than an SNG. Here it is against our friend David over at Blade Banter. This is the Orion Solaris. Right? Here it is against some knives you've probably held, which would help, I imagine. Here it is against the PM2. As you can see, the Socom just dwarfs that, which means it's going to be considerably bigger than our friend the Rat 2 here. It's just a big knife. It's cool. In many ways it is. It's just a little too tactical I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what it is about this knife that I don't like. And quite frankly, I don't know. But maybe that's the problem. There's nothing about it that I'm really in love with either. If you like this knife, get one. If you live in a place where you can have the automatic, get one of those. If you don't, get a manual. I actually prefer the manual version of many autos. I like this one quite a bit because it's manual. Thumb studs work beautifully. It's well balanced. It flicks right out. The detent on this one is 4 out of 10, 4.5. It's a little soft. It could be a little stiffer. But then again, this is a slightly older knife now, so who knows what it was like when it was brand new. I do like their aluminum, but I've always liked Microtech's aluminum. They do a good job. Hi, kitty. Sorry about that. Closed length on this thing, by the way, is, yeah, it's a full, thanks cat, full 5 inches and 5 1/4 if you come out to the end of the glass breaker. And the closed profile, the pocket carry on this thing. Now remember, the big part is going to be up at the top of your pocket. So right there where your hand falls into the pocket, it is almost 1 3/4 inches. Right, so this is in your pocket. You're not going to be able to get much else past that. Maybe a pen or something. It's not deep carry, but it's not too bad either. Let's grab a piece of folded paper. So that's what's going to be sticking out of the top of your pocket, this big chunk right here. Not bad. Yeah, it's got a lanyard space if you're into lanyards. I don't lanyard, but you might, in which case you could do it. Like I said, it's got that glass breaker. One of these days I'm going to figure out what it is about knives that I'm supposed to love that often I don't. Maybe I'm just too hip. I don't know. Is it, again, I want to be super clear for the Microtech fans in the audience. It's an excellent knife. If this is exactly what you want, I doubt very much else would do in its place. It just isn't what I wanted, really. I'm very grateful to the person who loaned it to me because I never would have known whether I liked it or not if I hadn't had a chance to get one in hand. And I might have done something crazy, like bought one, and then it would have shown up, and then I would have been, anyway, getting a chance to get this in hand was excellent, and I want to be very thankful. In fact, the person that loaned this to me is Chris over at Cerberus Knives, the designer of the Orion for Artisan. So thanks, bud. I'm sorry. I don't mean to speak ill of your excellent knife. It's just not for me. We're going to go ahead and close it up there. This is the Socom Elite by Microtech. These are hard to come by, but again, if this is the knife you want, I'd get one because nothing else is quite like it. And on that note, we'll wrap it up. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.